I grabbed some clothespins and turned them into 5 beautiful things you're going to want in your home. For the first one, I removed the wire springs and then glued the clothespins together as shown. I used hot glue to secure them to each other, going around in a circle. Then I found it a bit quicker to glue the 2 pins together and then attach them in 2s. I went all the way around until the circle was complete, and that is how I made a hot plate out of clothespins. For the second one, I used more pins after they were separated. I attached them together with hot glue so the flat sides were together, and then I glued 13 pins together to make a semicircle. Next, I glued 4 clothespins half together with the flat side down and attaching them at their sides. I attached each semicircle of clothespins to each side of the base, and that is how I made a napkin holder out of clothespins. For the third one, I glued more clothespins together with the flat sides together after the springs were gone. I glued the longer straight lines together to create a square-ish shape, and I finished the ends off with half of a clothespin, and that is how I made a coaster out of clothespins. For the fourth one, I used slightly larger clothespins. I removed the springs and attached them to a small wide mouth mason jar. I added clothespins that had been glued together all the way around the mason jar, and that's how I made a cute lantern out of clothespins. For the last one, number 5, I removed the spring, I glued the pins together at the back, and I added a third one to the bottom for extra support. I added a cute card, and that is how I made a picture holder out of clothespins.
The next time you're at Walmart, be sure to grab some skewers for this boho-inspired project. I've got 2 hoops here that are usually for wreaths. So I'm going to start with this smaller one, and this is going to be the base for the basket. And this is just an MDF ring. And I'm just going to put some hot glue around the ring like this and stick my skewers right into that. I'm not going to worry about trimming them yet. I'm going to put them on and then I'll worry about trimming them after I get them in place. So I'm going to line up one edge on one end like this so that I only have to trim one side over here. So you can do this in a few different ways. You can take a pair of scissors and just use the sharp edge to go around and just trim off your skewers like this. If any of them become loose, you can just add a little bit glue underneath. So you just want to trim them off, and then don't worry about if there's any uneven edges. You can just take a sanding block and give those a little sand. Whoops, we'll stick that one back down so that they're all in place. Now that I've got those first few on, I'm going to wait and sand this at the end, but I want to keep going until I fill up this base with the skewers. I'm just going to keep working my way around now, adding a little bit of glue and adding a few skewers at a time. The base of my basket is all done now and the skewers are attached, and it's time to start forming the sides. So to form the sides, I want to use these longer skewers that I found, and I actually like the kind that have this little lip kind of handle at the end. They're going to make for a nice pattern. And the only thing I need to do with these to get them ready is I just want to cut off these little tips at the bottom. I don't want to cut off very much because I want to leave that angled part, but just a little bit to take off that point at the bottom. I'm going to use 4 of the bigger skewers to hold the ring in place while I'm working. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on these. Okay, so I've got my 4 skewers like this. And now I'm just going to attach them to the base. Now that I've got my 4 skewers in place to hold this together, I'm going to go and start adding the rest of my skewers along here. So I want to make a pattern, and you can do this however you'd like. I just decided I'd like to make a little bit of a pattern. So I'm going to do a skinny skewer and then one of the thicker skewers with the little lip around the top. So I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue as I work and keep going around until I have it all filled in. Now that all the skewers are in place, I want to go ahead and start finishing off some of these edges. So I found this twisted twine at the dollar store, and I'm going to use this to go around the top of the basket to hide all those, and then I'm also going to go inside the basket. So I'm just going to cover up all those tops of the skewers, And I'm also going to do the same around the bottom to just hide all these bottom pieces. So I'm just going to use a bit of glue from the glue gun and just work my way around, adding this twisted twine right over the tops of the skewers, and you can see it like that there. So I'm just going to keep working my way around. Okay, and you can see the edge out here, how pretty that is now. The last thing I want to do to my boho inspired basket is add a couple of handles, and I'm just going to use the same braided jute twine, and I'm just going to stick a couple of handles on either side of the basket just to give it a cute little handle on either side. So I'll just cut 2 lengths of the twine, and then I'm going to attach one to either side just like this with a little bit of hot glue as well. I hope this has inspired you to grab some skewers the next time you're at Walmart and make this boho inspired basket. There's so much you can do with it.
To begin my project, I have this 7-inch cork trivet, and then I have these 1.5-inch wooden beads, and I have some butcher rope string. I'm going to take the string and I'm going to wrap it around the trivet just loosely here to get a rough idea on how long I need to make the beaded garland. And I'm going to make sure that I cut off past what I need just so I have extra rope to tie. And I'm going to double knot the end of my rope. Then using a large yarn needle, I'm going to thread it on. This is going to make it easier to string on the beads. And I'm going to begin making my beaded garland here. So I have the large 1.5-inch beads. I'm going to string on 3 of these to start. Then I'm going to bring in some smaller beads. These are just under 1 inch. And I'm going to string on 2 of these. So I'm going to continue this pattern, 3 large, 2 small, 3 large, 2 small. And I'm going to keep stringing these on until I have enough to go around the cork trivet. I'm going to be stacking up these circle garland beads, so I want to make sure that they stay in place. So I've just brought in this large glass cylinder, and this is what I'm going to be using to wrap the beads around. So once I have it exactly the right size, I'm going to take the rope, I'm going to thread it through the end piece, and then I'm going to tie it in a tight knot. And then we're going to place them over the cylinder and onto our base. You want to make sure that they fit nice and snug and that your beads aren't loose. I'm going to continue making these sets of beads until I have enough to fill up the entire outside of the cylinder. Next, I'm going to take this almond spray paint from Krylon, and I'm going to spray paint the trivet. I'm going to let that dry, and when it's done, I'm going to take some contact cement and I'm going to attach it to the bottom of the glass cylinder, and I'm going to let that set for a good couple of hours to make sure that it adheres properly. Once it's set, I'm going to take my beads and I'm going to put them back on over top of the glass cylinder. So I just have to lay them one over top of the other, continuing this way until I've reached the top of the cylinder. I don't have to attach the beads at all. They sit nice and snug, so I don't have to worry about them coming off. Once I have that done, I'm going to take my contact cement again and I'm going to put a bit at the bottom of the glass cylinder. And then I'm going to take this styrofoam foam block, and I just have an old spindle set in there, and I'm going to push it down into the bottom. Then I'm going to take this lampshade and I'm going to take this puck light and I'm going to attach it inside. I can't attach it directly in the middle because that's where the spindle is going to go to hold on my lampshade. So I'm just going to take a bit of string here and I'm going to tie it around and just tie it on so that it dangles from the inside of my lamp. I'm going to place my lampshade onto the spindle, and then this is our finished project. I am so happy with how this project turned out. What I love too is that if I decide I don't want to use this as a lamp anymore, I can easily remove the spindle, remove the foam block, and I can use it as a vase as well. I really hope that you enjoyed this project. Thank you so much for tuning into Home Talk.